Hi, good morning and Assalamualaikum to our panel, Madam Dayang and Dr. Suha. My name is NURUL FARAHELLIYANA binti AZMAN, and now I want to present my research study where the topic is factor affecting Malaysian postgraduate student intention to further study overseas in Selangor area and the moderating effect or level of income. So we start with the background where there are about 1 million students in every country who prefer to study overseas at foreign university, including in Germany and China, with a total number of 119,000 and 909,000 respectively, based on the record in UNESCO Institute of Statistics 2019. So continuous study overseas can produce a personal pleasure, a desire to gain and improve industrial skills and job opportunities as the primary motivator for postgraduate student, where this one is stated by Donaldson and Nicholas in 2004, which is giving that acknowledgement from international university is more highly regarded, where the majority of students believe that continuing education at international level is a strategy for them to compete with the other fresh graduate. So we move on to the research problem. So besides that, Malaysian students had always had a strong desire and eagerness to enhance their education abroad. As you can see in this slide, there are, according to the Ministry of Higher Education in Malaysia, there are over 70,000 Malaysian students are studying abroad in 2019, where the majority of them is go to United Kingdom, Ireland, Taiwan, Australia, Egypt, and Indonesia. So this thing is lead to the issue of the study, where we want to determine the cost of the student further study overseas rather than in their origin country. And the gap in this study is there are no research regarding the topic, and the researcher also not paying attention to this current research area, which is as you can see, the data is about the whole number of students study abroad, but they doesn't have a specific number for postgraduate student. So the research objective for this topic is the author wants to identify the knowledge about the factor which play important role in terms of increasing postgraduate student to study overseas, where the objective is have list out, which is to evaluate the relationship between self-efficacy and the intention to study overseas. To identify the relationship between quality of education offer and intention to study overseas. Third, to observe the relationship between personal development and intention to study overseas. Fourth, to assess the relationship between family influence and intention to study overseas. Fifth, to describe the relationship between host university reputation with the postgraduate intention to study overseas. And the last one is to identify level of income, moderate the relationship between self-efficacy, quality of education, personal development, family influence, university reputation, and intention of postgraduate students study overseas. So we move on to the next slide, which is research question. So this paper has systematically addressed the research gap by asking this following question to fill the gap of our research. So this is the list for research question, as you can see. Well, I will read a few of it, which is quality education offer impact on intention postgraduate student to study overseas. Does personal development give an impact of intention for postgraduate study overseas? And for the moderator is, does income level give an impact on self-efficacy, quality of education, personal development, family influence, university reputation, and intention to postgraduate study overseas? Okay, the next one is the framework of my topic. As you can see here, there are 5 variables: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. With the and continue with the moderator level of income, and the dependent variable is intention to study abroad, which this lead to development of the hypothesis in the chapter 2, where the for H1, self-efficacy has a positive effect on Malaysian postgraduate student intention to further study overseas. H2, the greater the quality education offered, the higher the Malaysian postgraduate student intention to study overseas. H3 is personal development has a significant positive effect on Malaysian postgraduate student intention to further study overseas. H4, the better the family influence, the higher the Malaysian postgraduate student to study overseas. And for H5, the greater the reputation of the host university, the higher the Malaysian postgraduate student intention to further study overseas. And for the hypothesis of the moderator is the relationship between self-efficacy and quality of education, personal development, family influence, and university reputation, and intention to study abroad moderate by level of income. So next is the research method, where the target population for this study is postgraduate student in Selangor, because it easier for researcher to run this research if we specific target in the Selangor, which is it around us. And as I'm also study at Shah Alam, which is one of university in Selangor, so it's more easier for me. So the sample size is as this research topic doesn't have a specific number on postgraduate student, we using the non-probability technique, and the sample size that we achieve is actually 120. But after evaluate each of the respondent answer, we find that few of them are not valid. So the sample size is the final sample size is 104. And of course, the sample technique is convenient sampling. Okay, the next one for the data analysis. So for demography analysis for age, the highest group of age is the 21 years old, and the lowest number respondent of group age is 33 to 36 years old. And for level of education, the highest number, as we can see in this pie chart, is degree, and the lowest is PhD. So the last demographic analysis that I want to present is level of income, where the highest is income that more than 3,100 with total 45 respondent, which is 43.3%, and the lowest is income below 1,500 with among only 4 respondent, which is 3.8% only. And move on to the descriptive analysis. As you can see here, the highest mean for this analysis is age 21 to 24 years old, with mean 2.2549, and the standard deviation 1.41906, and the lowest means is 33 to 36 years old with mean 1.5357 with standard deviation of 0.84691. Move to the other descriptive analysis between level of education and family influence, where the highest mean is for degree with total 2.6098 and standard deviation 0.96154, and the lowest is PhD with total mean 1.9200 with standard deviation 1.18958. So for reliability analysis, after we utilize using the SPSS software, this is we can see that every the intention to study abroad, which is DV, have record a good is actually reliable where the Cronbach alpha is more than 0.7, and also to the other independent variable. As you can see here, I put the number of Cronbach alpha, where we conclude that every variable for the study is reliable. So it is stable and consistent with DV number of item 4 and the other IV's number of item is 5. So for the correlation analysis, as we can see that here the tail is 2, where we can conclude that this relationship is significant, and the number also, as it is higher than 0.5, we conclude that for column intention and row for each independent variable have a strong relationship between the variable. So move on to the regression analysis. So as we can see here, the R for this analysis is 0.945, where we move to the significant, where we can see that there are 3 variables that contribute the most to this R square, which is that effect to the intention to study abroad, which is self-efficacy to intention study abroad, quality education offer to effect the intention study abroad, and personal development contribute to the intention to study abroad. So however, the other 2 variable, which is family influence and university reputation, recorded higher, which is not significant, as the value is more than 0.05. So for the moderator analysis, this I have list out. For model 1, there are self-efficacy, quality education offer, personal development, family influence, and university reputation affect the intention to study abroad, where the R square is 0.893, the R square change is 0.893, and the significant is 0.000. And for the model 2, it is the same as model 1, but they have additional variable, which we put in the middle of income level, where the R square is increased, which is from 0.893 to 0.896, where the R square change amount of 0.002. And based on the significant number, we can conclude that this moderator analysis does not affect the intention to study abroad, as the value is higher than 0.05, which is it is not significant. So from all the analysis that we use from SPSS software, there's a hypothesizing testing result, where for H1, self-efficacy has a positive effect on the Malaysian postgraduate student intention to further study overseas, which is the result is supported. For H2, the greater the quality education offer, the higher the Malaysian postgraduate student intention to further study overseas, which is also supported. And for H3, personal development has a significant positive effect on the Malaysian postgraduate student intention to further study overseas, supported. H4, the better the family influence, the higher the Malaysian postgraduate student intention to further study overseas. It is not supported from the result. H5, the greater the reputation of the host university, the higher the Malaysian postgraduate student intention to further study overseas, which are also not supported. And for H6, where the moderator variable put, the relationship between self-efficacy, quality of education, personal development, family influence, and university reputation, and intention to study abroad, moderate by level of income, is also not supported. So we move on to the discussion of this finding just now. So discussion of the finding is self-efficacy does not significantly impact the relationship to Malaysian postgraduate student intention to study abroad. As the previous study from George Kubilis, Thomas, and Ilvento in 2012 have observed that self-efficacy has a significant effect on student participants in study abroad. For second hypothesis, which is quality of education has a significant impact on Malaysian postgraduate students to study abroad, which T and Tess from in 2014 have recorded a higher respondent that choose quality of education, where respondents conclude that international students experience as a way to increase their chance of getting a better job, which include their wage and their career. So for personal development variable, it does significant affect the relationship with intention of Malaysian postgraduate students to study in their origin country. It's affect the relationship with intention of Malaysian postgraduate student to study outside the origin country, and where the previous research has proved that discovered that there has been increased the number of Vietnamese students will sent abroad to pursue international education for career development, career advancement, and personal development, which is stated by Clark 2003. Nguyen Hong Chi in 2013, and Nguyen T. Ma Ling 2012. The next discussion is previous study found that Chinese parents have a strong influence on their children's decision to study abroad, which is Bodycott and Lai in 2012. While this previous study mentioned state that hypothesis in chapter 2 is supported, our finding is find not supported, where the independent variable of family influence, the result of analysis indicates that family influence does not give a significant impact towards the relationship with intention of Malaysian postgraduate student to study abroad. But in my opinion, because of the timeline, maybe we can say that students nowadays have their own thinking, they have their own desire, they know what they want to achieve, so they doesn't rely on family influence anymore. So the last independent variable is university reputation, also show an opposite result with the hypothesis in chapter 2, where it turns out that university reputation does not impact the relationship with Malaysian postgraduate student intention to study abroad. In my opinion, I can say that I might agree with this finding, because we know that every university have increased their performance, where they have increased their study in class, their co-curriculum, so that even without the good, even we doesn't know the reputation of the university, but if we do a deep research of the what have been offered from the particular university, it can increase our desire to enter that university. So the last one, there is evidence to support the finding that income level does not moderate the relationship between IVs and intention to study abroad, which is stated by Melissa ETL in 2017 that financial factor, expected family contribution, and financial need had a negative impact on study abroad. So for the conclusion, there are specific aim of this study was to identify the factor that affect Malaysian postgraduate student intention to study overseas, and the limitation is because of the social desirability of self-enhancement motive. Respondents may not have truthfully reported their attitude or behavior, and some of them does not answer the survey question. So we can actually we have problem for that to identify a more clear result. So the next one is level of income need to be specific, as it is very general, because level of income can be from individual, from family, from parent. So I guess the recommendation for next researcher is to be more general on level of income. So next is current study finding have provided valuable information such as the finding can be referenced to future researcher to study more detail about this topic. And the last one, this research could demonstrate the value to the reader and assist educational institution in recognizing the factor and improve their education system level as same level in the foreign country. So that's all from me. I hope that you guys, I hope that I have presented well for my study. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.